welcome to the July 2020 episode of one of yours and my favorite segments on my channel. Of course, that is Out of the Vault, where we come together once a month to discuss the magic that is the wonderful world of Disney. And yeah, today was going to be the day where I most likely was preparing to make this episode about the newest addition to the Disney Pixar library, which was going to be Soul, but due to the COVID-19 epidemic, we are not going to be able to do that right now. But what I'm hoping for is that we will be able to welcome and embrace the newest addition to Pixar's collection before the end of 2020. But for now, I felt since we had to shuffle things around a bit, we would talk about what is probably going to become very, very soon my favorite Disney Pixar film of all time, and that is the 8th Pixar film from 2007, Brad Bird's second directorial in the library, Ratatouille, starring a brilliant cast including Patton Oswalt, the late Brian Dennehy, Janine Garofalo, Brad Garrett, and all the more appropriate now, the late, great Ian Holm, who just left us a couple of weeks ago. So, Ratatouille is definitely a favorite amongst many Disney Pixar fans. The story of a rat named Remy who wants bigger and better things out of life. He doesn't just want to be an ordinary rat. He has a dream and a passion for the art of cooking. And through his inspiration, the late Chef Gusteau, he stumbles upon his actual restaurant in Paris and befriends a nobody named Alfredo Linguini, who just happens to also get a job as a custodian in Gusteau's restaurant, and the two of them meet completely by accident, and they both realize that they can become an amazing team to take this restaurant and bring it back to its glory days. And through trials and tribulations, so many lessons are learned, and so many dreams are fulfilled in probably some of the most unusual but inspiring ways. So this movie was always a film that I enjoyed. I saw it when it first came out in theaters, but as the years go by, when it comes to this film and the relationship that I have with it, dare I say it, it really is like a fine wine. It only gets better with age. This film just adds so much more meaning to it every single time I watch it. Also, this movie is one of the main reasons why cooking happens to be a passion of mine. I always was someone who had no issues with learning how to cook, but to me these days, cooking is more than just putting food on a plate. It's about experimenting with various flavors to your liking and bringing something fresh and new to the table. And of course, it is the most amazing feeling when you actually present your creation to people who you appreciate and they truly give you an honest feeling of what they feel. So this movie does have that inspiration, but there's so much more to it, and especially in the last couple of weeks, this movie provides a very important message. It is a story that is not just about a rat that loves to cook. It is about a society where the normal doesn't have to be the normal anymore. Remy has this impactful scene in the film. Even though I always watched it, I also want to thank my friend Katie from The Introverted Reader, who talked about it when she reviewed it very, very recently. And it's the scene where Remy is talking with his father, and they're standing outside of a pest control store, and his father basically says, "You can't change nature," and Remy responds by saying, "Change is nature, Dad, and it starts when we decide." That couldn't be a more relevant statement than what's going on in the world today. And that's what Remy tries to do. He wants to break social norms. He wants to say that anyone can cook, even if that anyone is in fact an animal that is supposed to walk on 4 legs. Now, is that something that might actually happen in the world that we're currently living in? My guess is absolutely not, but that's really what it is. It's a metaphor for someone who is just believing that they are meant for bigger and better things, something to create, something to inspire, and more importantly, when it might be interesting and completely unorthodox, the ability to actually share that with the world is what makes the world and society as a whole the amalgamation that it is. It's just such an amazing and incredible thing that is life. And also, the late great Peter O'Toole provides the perspective of Anton Ego, the devious-sounding food critic who truly loves food. And that's another amazing scene where he actually says, if I don't love food, I don't swallow. But when he actually goes to the new incarnation of Gusteau's, tastes the dishes, and then sees how the dishes are made, he also brings an amazing monologue in regards to his actual review of the restaurant. And it also plays in part with the fact that we need to be open-minded, we need to be open to the new and exciting, whatever it may be. And that's what makes Ratatouille such an amazing film. The characters are wonderful. It's also amazing when you actually take a look at the voice cast and you find some actors that you never would have imagined were in this film. Like Will Arnett is in this film, as well as James Remire. I didn't even think about Janine Garofalo in this film, even though I knew she was there, but she doesn't sound like her at all. And that's one of the main things I love about Ratatouille. You don't really think about the actors that are voicing these characters. They really dive deep into these characters and become these characters, regardless of their voices. And that's just such a powerful thing, and that's really why this movie is just so beautiful and so brilliant. It really is one of the very best that Pixar has ever given us. I think it is actually, as a fan of The Incredibles and a big fan of Brad Bird, I really feel throughout time that this may be Brad Bird's best film, and quite frankly, I feel that if this is the way that I react to a film like Ratatouille, after seeing it so many times and just seeing it get better before my eyes, I really feel that one day I am going to tell people when they ask me, what is your favorite Disney Pixar film? I am going to say Ratatouille without even the blink of an eye. If you haven't seen this film, I really implore you to do so. It is truly going to make you happy, it's going to inspire you, and it's really going to make you look at life in ways that you never thought possible. And also, I will say that it has probably one of the most charming and probably one of the most satisfying endings in all of animation history. Ratatouille is going to get a solid 4 stars out of 4 from me. That is my review of Ratatouille, everybody. Please put your comments in the box below. I would love to talk to you about this film, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.